Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. Today is February 1st, 2026, and we are going to be looking at what I stitched in January. I'm not exactly sure of the totals, but I will put the total number of stitches here. Let's get started. So first off, we will just do this one because it is a start and a finish, and it is the fox-faced snail from the Black Needle Society. As their snail mail, so it comes with all your floss that you need. You get the pattern right here on the back of this, and then you can do just the paper or paper and digital, or just digital. I get digital and paper. I'm not sure what this fabric is. It was just a piece that I had unlabeled in my stash, and I did him 1/1 full cross, and there he is. There is the fox-faced snail, and I actually put his name on him because I'm planning to make them into a bag, so it would be nice to have the name of the snail on the bag. So there is that, the fox-faced snail. I would like to say, before I continue any further, I would like to say welcome to any new viewers, and welcome back to welcome back to everybody. I hope everybody had a great January, and let's continue. Up next here, we will do the Hade 2026 Sal, which for me is Glistening Wings, and doing 1/1 full cross tent stitch on 32 count. So here is what it will look like. And I am doing this extreme cross country, trying it out. And it just barely fits in the Q-snap. When I have to work on this side, I have to pull the Q-snap off, but that's okay. So here is the whole piece. I did a few of the most colors, 310 and 3771, I believe, to get me the good base. And now I'm just working from least to most. And the next color I'm working on is 436. There is a few colors that I don't have that I need to get, and once I get those, then I will fill in those spots that are missing those. But there's some good patches in his wing here. So 2/1 continental tent stitch for this piece here. And this one I am currently at 22,696 stitches complete out of 87,020, and that is 26.08% complete. And this one here I didn't work very much on for January, because I realized partway through January's block that I was using December's block for January, so all this light color up here I have to stake out. So this one is what's going in, all I put in basically for January. And then we just got February's today, which will come over here, and I will show that later. That there. And then we also worked on year 5 for the band sampler for frogworts. And that is year 3, year 5, and that is this one right here. I'm doing this all on one piece. And for this one, we are currently at 10,163 stitches out of 12,242 stitches. So we are at 83.02%, which is the one that is the most complete. So let's bring, no, stop getting connected together, please. Thank you. I haven't cut this fabric. I won't cut it until I have them all on here. So here is year 5 right here. I have reached the edge over here, so we just have the rest of the giant and this piece here to work on, and a couple little things, and then I think there's a little bit of backstitch with the ears. So yeah, we just have this section here, and I am currently working with 3860, filling in the giant's clothes here. Trying to do color complete within what's left of this year, of year 5. I can get it. There we go. There. No. There. That is year 5. And it's gonna come. Alright. We will fold that up and put it away later. And then also worked on this one here. This is Hello Pumpkin Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This was Whip Go for January, and this is a 28 count shark fin by Fortnite Fabrics, which you cannot get anymore. So here is where we got to. I finished the pumpkins, got some more work on the tree, started and finished this mushroom, and I started on the owl. So that is what it looks like currently up close. So this will go away until it's called for rotation stitches or Whip Go. I'm not sure if I have it on Whip Go more than once or not. And I'm just pulling out of the bag here, because as I was working on them this month, I just stuck them in the bag, so it was easier for this. I would know where everything is. Up next is 42 Strong, and this was designed by Grandma Stitching Box. So here is what it looks like, and I am currently 7,711 out of 41,917 for a percentage of 18.40%. This, I believe, is a 28 count, 1/1 full cross. Called for colors, I'm using either DMC or CXC, whichever one I had for the color. So this is where we are at. I worked up here in the blues. There's some holes down here on the bottom that I still need to get the colors for because I don't have the colors. So that was a weekend focus one weekend because my full coverages are a Saturday, Sunday focus. Next up is Schoolhouse Rocks. This was supposed to be a focus for 2 days. And after I started to do some frogging, I just realized and talked with others in the Black Needle Society group that I was just going to add stitches on either side because I found out that I am off on either side. So here's what it looks like. I am off this, oh, goodness gracious, the State House, I'm off, and I'm off on the right other side as well. So I said after frogging it, I realized just add the stitches that I'm off on either side and we fix the rest of the inside. So I frogged all here, and then I was talking to the ladies and gentlemen in the group, and we're just gonna add in here and add here or down here. One of these sides is off and then this is off. The State House is off by 1, and I'm not sure if this bottom here is off or if the top is off. So we're just gonna add stitches. So I frogged for no reason. Think I might still have to frog the and here and fix that, but I will get to that when that time comes. So there was no forward progress on this. We just figured out what we were going to do moving forward. And that one, we are currently at 900. If I hadn't frogged, I don't frog on Pattern Keeper. So this is with the frog stitches in. 9,562 stitches complete out of 16,284 for 58.72% complete. Next up is Eskimo Kisses by BD. Let me look at this. BDLXXX stitch. This was the SAL for 2025, and here is what it will look like. And I am doing this 32 count 1/1 full cross. I started in the center, so now I'm at 10,277 stitches complete out of 84,000. For a total of 12.23% complete. So really what I worked on this, so here's the whole piece. What I worked on this time around was up here. I worked my way up and filling in, and just so now that I can work from the top down again. I really like working from the top down. But it was nice to do something different and start in the middle. So this one got its 2 days this month. Oh, in January. And next in the bag, we have the Peppermint Purple Sal from 2023. Here's the layout that I chose. I didn't work on any of the interior pieces. I worked on border pieces. I'm not sure if this, I don't remember if this got the full 2 days, but I know I worked on it 1 day. Only can work on this so much. And this is on Great Basin 28 count from Fortnite Fabrics. 2/1 for the crosses and 1 strand for the one strand for the black work. So I just brought this border over mostly top. They said I only wouldn't work on it for a little bit of time for some reason. I'm not sure why. So there's that one. And next up that was picked was Glory by Bent Creek. My husband picked this out one of the trips that we went up to Missouri for the Black Needle Society retreat. And there happened to be a free piece of fabric on the table, which is this part of this right here. So I picked it and we're using it. So this is where we got to. And we still need to, not we, but I still need to figure out the middle here. Go the right way, because I'm taking this glorious bit, how it's spaced out, and I'm pushing it together, and I'm taking the alphabet out and putting back stitching in my husband and my father. This will be a piece for both of them. And we have the, whoops, no, we're not done yet with the whips. I also have been working on my stamped kit, the Wadabiz. This is the November 2025 auction that I won. So this exact one you cannot get. You might be able to find one similar, but this one you cannot get. This was 18 counts. And this is where, hang on. This is where we got to. And I did a little bit over here in the stitching group. It was just easier to just stick with straight black instead of doing all the colors. Excuse me. So there is it up close, and you can see the printing on the pattern itself, on the fabric. So this, it's kind of big. Kind of big. So this, well, I've been working on at night, at the end of the night, when I'm done with my counted stitches, but I still want to stitch. I've been pulling this piece out to work on. And then the piece for this weekend is Mirabilia Santa by Mirabilia. I consider this full coverage because it's pretty much full coverage except for a few spaces up in the greenery. But Santa is full coverage himself. So like I said, I consider him to be a full coverage pattern. So here is where we are. I worked on some of the red in the hat yesterday. And I worked some more in the poofy band of his hat. So I'll probably work some more on that. I'm almost to the edge. I've got, I don't know, 30, 40 stitches maybe to the edge. So this will work on some more today, and you will see that again at the end of February, beginning of March. So now the piece that I think majority like is the Game of Thrones. It's heavy because I still have the frame on. I don't take this part off. So we finished this band. We started this diagonal and finished this diagonal and started on the second diagonal. So we got like a diagonal and a quarter done this month. And let me show you. Here is what it will look like. Let me bring it in closer so you guys can see it. No, go away, I don't need you to show. So all the Game of Thrones characters, and we are currently sitting at 328,339 stitches out of 750, and we are at 72.30%. So with that, that's what I worked on this month. For all of my stitching, and now we will get into the haul. Just a little bit of haul, not too much. I'm in the quarterly project bag of the month with Millennial Fabrics, and this was the one that we received for January, I believe, December, January, I can't remember. So little polar bears and penguins and deers and trees and snowflakes, and it's the same on the back. And then the interior, it's magical moments together, hot cocoa, snowflakes, frozen flurries, snow, build a snowman, all winter-y type sayings. So we'll have to find the perfect project to put in there. And then I also have the fabric that was December, because this came with, I think, December fabric of the month from Millennial Fabrics, and it is called sugared pistachio, and I get it in a 40 count linen. So here is what it looks like. What we will put on it, do not know, but that's okay. Stick it back in the baggie so I don't lose it, and I can put it in with the other fabrics. Now we will go over my plans for February. February's whip go is number 5. Let me just pull up my, gotta find my whip go board and my planner here. Should have these little tabbed out. Maybe that's what I'll do. So here is the whip go board. I just need to highlight number 2, finish coloring number 2, because that's complete. So for February it was 5 and 22, and number 5 is Society Stitcher, and 22 is the Christmas kit. So let's see. Society Stitcher, do not have a photo because it is a paper pattern. I believe it was a freebie from the Buckingham Society on their website. This is a fat 8 of Cypress 32 count, 2/2, and I'm working on filling in all the blue first. So here is where we are. Society Stitcher, it's a coffee cup. So here is where we are. I will have this whole piece, this half over here, to do with what I want when I'm done. But this is where we currently are, where we're starting the month of February. And this gets, let's see, February. Where is my calendar? This one gets 2 days in February. Yeah, two days in February, which is fine. I don't have a day total. Like, not saying I have to have 5 days or 2 days or 3 days or 1 day. It's just however many times I can work on it in a month. So there's that one. And then 22 is this Christmas kit, which I'm just have this section here to finish, and it's a majority is a little bit of cross stitch, but majority white work. This also gets 2 days, plus I believe this is getting time during the week itself. 22. No, this is just getting the 2 days. So here is where it is currently. So like I said, I just have this bottom section here, and it's majority white work. So this one will be a finish this year. Should be a finish this year. I don't know if it'll be in February or if it will be in a different month. And then 21 for rotation stitching is 21 is Christmas. So, oh yeah, so this one is getting 2 days in February, so this is getting a total of 4 days in February. So we should have this finished this month. And then another one is number 12 on my list, which is Society Stitcher. So this one that I just showed you, the teacup, this one here, the teacup, that's getting 4 days total. In addition, 4 days, 2 days for rotation and 2 days for Ripico. And then the full coverage for the first weekend is number 5, which is Game of Thrones. So this one here will get a full weekend, Saturday and Sunday focus, in addition to the 80 to 100 stitches I do every day. So this one should get some good progress. This one saw over 2,000 stitches this month for January. So we should see some good progress for February. And then the next non-full coverage is number 30 on my list, which is Celebration, which is the 250th piece done by Rosewood Manor. And this one is on a piece of Rogue Stitching in Nutmeg, 36 count. So there are some spots that I will need to backstitch because the fabric is brown and some of the flosses are brown, but this is where we are. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. So this is where we are. Like I said, this brown on the house, I need to backstitch because you can tell in person, but if you're standing from a distance, you cannot see it. So I think I just need to fill in this part for this page that I have printed out. Let me double check. Oh, and there's a little bit of fireworks on the top, which I might wait until the very end because it's got back stitching. But there is where we're starting at. So this will get 2 days this month. Next, the next non-full coverage is number 26, which is The River by Modern Folk Embroidery. So here is what it looks like. And I'm working in this flower pot section here. And I'm using the River of Life Floss by Forbidden Fiber Co. And I'm doing it on a 56 count cream linen by Zweigart. So here is the floss. And this was a Black Needle Society bi-monthly subscription box. Pattern and floss. So here is where it is. That's the whole width of it. And the length, I think, might come here, so I have 3/4 of this piece left. That one. I should have 3/4 left. So that's where we're starting. Hopefully, I should be able to get this middle section finished and possibly start on the next band down below. And then that next weekend, number 24 for full coverage, is the September block for this pattern, which is up here. This is the September block. So we'll be working on this block and also trying to put in some February blocks, February stitches. Garden trellis. And then the next non-full coverage is number 18, which is Xmas Cabin, which this one should be a finish this month, because there is very little left to do. It's basically just filling in here, and that's it. So that should get finished this month, but no promises, no guarantees. And the next one up is number 15, which is Quaker Christmas, which is this one here. This one I can only work on for short periods of time, so the progress will be a little bit slower just because of the floss that I chose. I chose the diamond, so I have to use small strands, which is fine. And this is where we are starting at. This is 32 count. Yeah, 36 count. So I'm doing all the words and the back stitch in red, and then everything else, the Quakers and other stuff, in green. So I can work on this one here. I can finish the angel, which I'll probably finish the angel. So as this one has it green as words and red as everything else, I switched it to green everything else and red for words. Doing it backwards. So that's where this one is. We will see what we get for progress on this. In February. And then the next full coverage is number 25, which is this one here, which would be the October block, which is up here. So 2 weekends in a row we'll work on this one. So maybe one day of those 2 weekends I'll work on it for the February block down here. So we've got September for 1 weekend and then October for 1 weekend. And then the next one, non-full coverage, is 32, which is in this big bag. And that is Monopoly. This one has not been out for a long time, so it'd be nice to actually pull this one out for 2 days. And this is where we are at on this one. 28 count, 2/2 full cross. It will fit on this piece for the width. I think it'll fit the other way too. If it fits one way, it'll fit the other way because the board's a square. So I'm working over here in this section. Fold it one more time. There we go. So I will finish filling in here, do the back stitch for these two, which is, we got, and there's some stitches in here that's just the Chance, and then this one is Vermont Ave. So we'll finish out this color blue for the block up top. We'll do the red for the Chance symbol, or the pinky color, whichever color it is for the Chance symbol, and then we'll backstitch them. Don't know if I'll get all that in February, but we'll see what we can get done in February. Be nice to pull this one out. Like I said, this one hasn't seen, did not see any progress in 25. And then the next full coverage piece after that is number 31, which is Celebration. Number 30, which is in the beginning of the month, is supposed to be Jane's Joy. I just switched the numbers for 30 and 31. Which is this piece here by Carolyn Manning. Carolyn Manning month. She would her pieces 3 times this month. Come on. We want to go back in the bag. Thank you. This is on a 28 count hand-dyed Lugana. And this is where we are at. I like this one because it's got little squares, so it feels like a little mini finish when to do it. So I literally half done if you look at it. So here's the whole piece. So those 2 pieces that are here, if you put them here, we're halfway done, a little over half. So we will continue working over here, get these 2 squares in here finished out, maybe bring the border across. I don't know where I'll go. I've got options of where I would like to go for this one. So there's Jane's Joy. I will get 2 days this month. And I can't figure out why I'm not folding it correctly. There we go. And then after that, full coverage number 11 is Harvest Cornucopia, which I did not bring out. Did not find that one. I know where it is, but I can show you here on my tablet where we are starting from. And this is what Harvest Cornucopia looks like. It's Donna Gelsinger, and we are currently at 8,775 stitches out of 403,115. Excuse me. So that's where we are currently. We will finish doing the diagonals. Working on that diagonal and continuing on. And I believe those are all of my pieces for February. This is just snails that I need to put these 2 snails in. Well, at least this one. We'll put more, starting to start the February, the gingerbread, showing my address, that's okay. The gingerbread snail in this one for February. Just as something to do when I finish my stitching for the day and there's still time before dinner, and not ready to pull out my big glistening wings piece just yet. So with that, I hope everybody has a great day. I hope everybody has a great February. I hope that if you were affected with this snow and cold that we are currently under, that you are safe and you are warm. We got ice and sleet in that mix of yuckiness. We are still a little chilly, not too bad. Nights get a little cold. It's been getting up to the 40s and 50s, so it's melting the ice slowly. I will insert pictures at the end of our yard during it, and then maybe some pictures of the yard currently. There's still some snow patches. The birdies are going crazy at their food. So like I said, I hope everybody had a great January, and I hope everybody has a great February, and we'll see you at the end of February, beginning of March. Bye everyone.